All right, everybody, welcome to SR Broadcasting Pre-Race Countdown. We're here tonight with Go Fast Racing League, GFRL HomeNet hosting Cup Series here at Pocono for the Pocono 300. And it's going to be a good race here tonight. We are doing a first run here tonight with them. Something happened prior, and we picked up from here, so we will be your broadcasters from here, hopefully through the rest of the season, through the chases, and all the way down to the final championship race. So hopefully you guys will enjoy it. We got some stuff here. We got a couple of guys going to be joining us in the booth in a little bit, but we're going to be doing the pre-race countdown before each race, try to get some words in with some of the drivers, and just get to know who they are, where they're standing in the points, how their season's going, how long they've been sim racing, stuff like that, some track strategy, what the track feels like. So, some good stuff, some good information. Try to bring it to you live. Let me just take a look here real quick. Give me a second to get caught up here. All right, so we're here at Pocono for GFRL HomeNet hosting Cup Series, and we're not really up to speed on everything, so we're going to try to get a couple of guys down here to get up on speed. But I do know last week's race winner was Eric, I believe it's Mick. I'm going to have to ask him. Eric Mick. He led 143 laps last week, and I believe he is top in the points also. Let me take a quick look at the points here. Yeah, Eric Mick right now has got 13 races counted. We're at race number 14. He's got 4 poles and 7 wins, and he is currently 71 points ahead of second place Josh Bonwell. Sitting third is Jeff Schmidt. Sitting fourth is Michael Treverathan. Jeff Wubker sits 5th. 6th is Joe Burchett. Robert Dudley is 7th. Austin Mannion is 8th. Skylar Allen Sr. is 9th. And Stephen Parks rounds out your top 10 in points. So not too bad. Looks like these guys had a pretty good season so far. This is race number 14. Let's see. All right. I was just told it is Eric Minch. Sorry about that. I'm a little bit new to some of the guys here still, so I'm getting there. All right, let's see. Who can we get down here first? How about let me grab Skylar Allen first, and we can go over a couple things. Let me see if I can find him. Oh, he's got his microphone turned off at the moment. Let's see. And why am I hearing... I'm hearing extra voices coming in from somewhere. All right. Yeah, no, I think it was from my phone, actually, trying to monitor Facebook. All right, I'm gonna see about getting our points leader in here, Eric Minch, and see how Eric Minch is going. Hey, Eric Minch, this is the pre-race countdown. We got you up here in the booth. You got a copy? Hey, Eric Minch, how's it going? All right. Hey, man, listen, we're kind of new here. We see that right now you're in the points lead. You got a bunch of wins and a bunch of poles. I guess your season's going pretty good for you at this point. Oh, is it? All right, hold on. My producer, I'm going to shoot him in a second. All right, give me a second. Well, while we got you here, let's talk to you. Hang on. Let me first unmute this. All right, guys, we are live. Sorry about that. Eric Minch, sorry about that, man. My producer was correcting me on something. Obviously, we got to get back together on that. But how's the car feeling out there on the track right now?
Actually, it's feeling real good.
Now, let me ask you something. Have you been here since race 1 with this series, the HomeNet Hosting Cup Series?
Yeah, I've been here since it actually first started.
Oh, all right. We're kind of new to this still. Do you know where you're sitting points wise?
No, I don't know.
No. How long you been with GFRL?
Oh, since it debuted with the super lates.
All right. So you having a pretty good season so far. You get to know a couple of the drivers. You're pretty comfortable with some of them out there on the track.
Yes, sir.
All right, good. Any strategy, any plans you got here for tonight's race?
Yeah, try not to wreck.
Well, that's a good one right there. All right. Well, listen, man, I'm sorry about that confusion there. I know we have Eric Mick, and when I said Eric Mick before, my producer said no, Eric Minch. So I got a little bit confused there because I wonder why it was spelled two different ways. But anyway, man, we do appreciate you stopping in and talking with us for a little bit, and we'll catch up with you again, hopefully on the track.
Good luck, man.
All right, man.
All
Have a
right.
good one.
All right.
Tell me on that, by the way. I'm all good.
Good to go.
Yeah, you guys are on.
Yep.
Beautiful.
Hey, Eric, what room were you in?
Metalhead.
All right. All right. Well, anyway, I'm here with Curtis Martin and Nathan Wingnut. How you guys doing tonight?
Doing good. Just ran home from work, and now I'm here to broadcast.
I'm absolutely fine, man. Woke up for this. It's gonna be.
Yeah, it should be pretty good, man. I think we're going to have a pretty decent race here. Yeah, I was looking. We have a number 7, Eric Mick, and then we have a number 32, Eric Minch. And Eric Mick is your points leader coming into tonight's race, and that's who I thought I was grabbing until I was told otherwise. But
Okay, that's where we made the mistake. I was
Yeah.
like, wait, that's Eric Minch, isn't it?
But that's all right. You know, like I said, we're new. It's going to take us a little bit to get caught up on speed. But we are going to get Eric Mick down here, and we'll talk to Eric Mick and see how Eric Mick's doing so far. Eric Mick, this is the pre-race countdown. Do you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you. How's it going?
It's going pretty good, man. You're having a good season here so far. You're coming into this race, the points leader. I believe you got 7 wins, 4 poles. How's it feeling out there tonight?
Well, so far it's gone a little rough. I'm a bit off the pace. Haven't run this car at this track until I came in here tonight, so, I don't know. We'll see. I'll get back out there before this practice session ends and hopefully pick up some time on my first 10-lap run and, just kind of go from there. But, you know, I've got a pretty decent gap in the points, so for me it's all about racking up the wins towards the playoffs and all of that. So, you know, never know how these races are going to play out, so just kind of take it as it comes.
Yeah, plus, I mean, you have 100 laps here. I'm sure there's plenty of time to, you know, test it out. I know some of the races that we've broadcast already at this track, when the rubber came down on the track, it really changed the car up. Some of the guys for a lot better. We've seen a lot of good racing produced here, too. A lot of side-by-side and a lot of passing through the tunnel turn and even coming out of turn 3 that you normally wouldn't see. So that's something that we're going to probably see here tonight also.
Yeah, I haven't races here with the stock cars on the new surface. Haven't done any, so I really don't know what to expect. But I feel like there's a lot of grip compared to the old Pocono. A lot less getting in your way with all the bumps, or most of the bumps taken out of it. So it should be interesting. I think you're going to be able to see some brave moves just because you have so much space and grip to be able to hang on to these things if they get out of whack.
All right, man. Well, listen, we appreciate you stopping and talking with us real quick. We're going to try to get to know each of you guys as this season progresses with us. Before we let you get out of here, any teammates or anybody that you want to give a shout out to that's watching you or helped you along this way?
Well, I'll plug Silver Fox Racing Designs for the paint scheme that I've got out here tonight, probably for the rest of the season. That's my brother who paints iRacing cars for people. And of course, Skylar, just for putting this series on, and welcome you guys to the series. A lot of good racing in these first however many weeks we've been doing this, so I think you got something to look forward to.
Awesome, bro. All right, good luck to you. We'll try to catch up with you during the race. Maybe we'll see you on the podium again here tonight. And were you up here in Bombshell Motorsports?
Yes, I was.
All right. All right, we'll talk to you later on. Good luck, man.
All right, thanks, guys.
Good luck, brother.
All right. That's pretty good. So there was our confusion, but we got that pretty much taken care of. So that'll work out a little bit better.
So now my hunch was confirmed, but I've actually, since they've done the rescan for iRacing, I've never seen a race on this track.
We've called a couple of races the last couple of nights, and I'll tell you what, it's produced some amazing racing. I think we're going to see that here again tonight. We've seen passes through the tunnel turn, coming out of turn 3. We've seen 4 wide. I mean, things that you normally wouldn't see here at Pocono. We've seen that all week. It's been amazing, and I think these guys are going to do the same thing.
So I'm used to the entry to turn 1 with such an early lifting point. That's what I'm used to seeing, and now I'm seeing them drive it right in, get it down to the line, and drive it out. There's a lot more grip now, so I'm interested to see with a bit of a smaller field than say like NIS races, how the races are going to go. Are we going to see a little bit more conservative of a race style? Are we going to see it 3-4 wide in the first 15 laps? That'll be a very interesting thing with the amount of grip that's placed on this track.
Yeah, the width of the track now smooth is going 4 wide isn't as crazy as it sounds. Like, people can actually pull it off and pull some beautiful moves. Honestly, the track feels so different with this game. Absolutely love it.
Like I did a DW12 race, and then I did an IR18 race, getting a little bit off topic. In the DW12 race, I touched the force feedback casing on my wheel, and it was on fire, and I ran about 30 laps in the IR18 on the new track, and it was cold. So it was interesting to see a track with the bumps taken out, which was naturally, in the past, just riding
like going off-road.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, do you want to, Curtis, you want to talk to somebody? I'll grab somebody down. Anybody you got in mind?
Let me look at the list. Oh, he's muted.
Yeah, we have a couple drivers muted out here, so...
Yeah, it was. They dragged Tyler Cox because he's got to the top position by almost a 10th, and he's looked good.
And Mike is Travarathon, right?
Michael Trevarthen.
Travarathon, all right. I remember when we stepped in last Friday to help out with their Grand National Series, I had to learn some of the names from you.
It's a hard transition. It's Varthin, not Vara.
I'll do the best I can, man. It'll take me some time.
Who
do you want? Let's get somebody down here. All right, let me see. Where's he at? All right, Metalhead Motorsports. All right, we got him for you, bud.
Austin Marion, this is pre-race countdown. Do you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you. You got me?
Yeah, I do. So, with it running into a new track, how's the car feeling for you?
It feels awesome. This is way better than when I was doing practice earlier today. It's great. I love this new redone version of this track.
So you're currently running 7th in the practice out of about a 16 car field. Do you feel like you're gonna have a better advantage with running a little bit of a different pace, saving tires during the race, or?
During the race, definitely from lap 1, I'm going to be saving my tires. I'm going to go easy on it because otherwise you will pay. The drop off is really nasty.
Definitely. And with your sitting on points, what are your expectations for tonight?
I am hoping for at least a top 10, but I'd really prefer a top 5. I've missed like the last 2 Cup events, so I think I can do it tonight. This is one of my favorite tracks. I'm usually pretty good here.
Alrighty, I just had a couple questions for you. Good luck with your race tonight. Maybe we'll talk to you later on the podium.
All right, thanks a lot.
No problem.
Good luck.
All right, that was good, man.
That was Austin Marion, driver number 65, Metalhead Motorsports Ford Fusion. Currently running 7th in the practice with 52.610.
I'll tell you what, it's going to be some amazing racing going on here all week long. Like I said, we've seen nothing but moves that you would never see. I mean, it was just amazing to see, and I'm pretty sure we'll see the same thing here again tonight. I believe they said there are no fast repairs here in this series, which I am a big fan of, having no fast repairs. I think that actually adds to it. It makes guys drive a little bit smarter, not really, throw it out there and know you got kind of a free pass. So I think it definitely brings a lot more competitiveness into it, my opinion. I'm not always right, but I definitely think it's a good thing to have that.
Oh yeah, it's beautiful, man. You break it, you bought it. You can't go crazy the first few laps. Got to play it safe, make it to the end, and maybe throw it in there.
Another tidbit to add that a lot of leagues don't do because of how unforgiving this system can be. This series has a 12x incident limit, which is actually very interesting to see. Because there's not many leagues in iRacing that I have seen that actually use this system.
I didn't know that. I'm glad you said that. I know where I run, we used to run a 16x, but the only problem that we didn't like about it was if you were the innocent driver and you racked up the X's because of somebody else, unfortunately, sometimes you got booted too. But it is definitely a good system because it just makes people drive with that patience that they should have from the get-go, honestly.
That's
it doesn't stop pump drafting too.
Yeah, patience is an art that is slowly being relearned both in NASCAR in real life and in the sim. It's gotten a little bit interesting with patience, but it's good to see it coming back.
Hey, I'm gonna pull in. I see his mic. Oh no, his mic is back again. Man, I wanted to get him. Let's go. Let's grab one more driver. We're gonna grab Josh Bonwell in here. I believe he's sitting second in the point standings. So let's grab Josh. We'll all have a word with him here. Josh Bonwell, pre-race countdown. You got a copy? Hey, man. First of all, thanks for joining us down here in the booth, taking a couple minutes of your time to talk to you. I believe you're sitting second in the points here in the season, having a good run so far. How's it feeling out there tonight on track?
It's pretty good. We ain't got the fastest time, but we're up there, so I'm pretty confident.
We've seen a bunch of races here this last week at Pocono with this new asphalt, and the racing that it produced is amazing. We've seen a lot of 3-4 wide moves in tunnel turns and coming out of turn 3. Probably going to say we expect to see some of that tonight. It looks like you got a pretty decent handling car out there right now. Turn 4 Racing 07. So, I don't know, man. Any plans on strategy? You just going to take it easy in the beginning, see how the car feels, or you got anything up your sleeve?
Yeah, I'm not gonna press it too hard here in the opening part of the race. Just try to survive and see if we can make it to the end.
Nice. Any of you guys got anything for Josh?
What was that?
Any of you guys got anything for Josh? I'm talking to the other guys in the booth.
You take it easy on tires. You're gonna absolutely push into the.
What is your fuel strategy going to be like? Are you going to be aggressive with your tires? Are you going to try to hold them out as long as you can?
Well, I always kind of struggle with that one. Sometimes if I feel like I'm saving too much, and if I push, I'm pushing too hard. So I'm just going to kind of hang with the guys around me tonight and try not to let them get too far out in front of me and not have to do a bunch of work reeling them back in, but I don't want to get too far out in front either.
You don't want to burn up your stuff too early, and you don't want to have too much too late.
Right, 10-4.
All right, man. Well, listen, we appreciate you taking a couple minutes out of your warm-up here. Hopefully next week we get a little bit more time. We'll get you down a little bit sooner and get some more talking with you. We want to try to learn some of the drivers and, get people to know who you guys are here. and what your strategies are and, feels on the track. So we appreciate your time, man, and good luck to you tonight. We'll be watching.
Yeah, thanks, Paul.
All right. All right. Let me find out. Here he is, Turn 4 Racing. That was Josh Bondwell in the 07, and right now he is currently sitting 7th, so not too bad in warm-up. All right, guys, we're going to kick it over to the race in a couple of minutes. I think we'll let it ride like another couple minutes before we head on over. Tonight's race is brought to you by HomeNet Hosting. This is the HomeNet Hosting Cup Series here at Go Fast Racing League. We are at race number 14. Pocono, going to be 100 laps here tonight. This is the Pocono 300. Should be a pretty good race. We've seen a lot of good racing so far this week at Pocono with this new new asphalt they got down. If you guys obviously haven't seen it yet, I think we're going to see an amazing race tonight. It's been, I don't know, we've seen some moves that you just would never see before, guys, for real.
Definitely some high expectations coming from me. With having more grip, I'm expecting a little bit more aggressive passes early on.
We'll see a lot of that, especially on the starts and the restarts. Guys trying to get as much as they can right away. Looks like we have 17 drivers out here right now so far on the field. Tyler Cox is holding on to the top spot at the moment. Joe Burchett is sitting second. Michael Trevarthen is sitting third. Doug George is sitting fourth. Let me pull up the top 5. And Jeff Wubker is sitting 5th.
Looks like currently at this moment we'll have 16 cars on the grid. Jay DeBook has manually disconnected from the server and has not returned.
Okay. Yeah, he did pretty good, I believe, Thursday night when we watched him race. So, all right, well, listen, we appreciate you tuning in here to the pre-race countdown. This is the first night we got to do this with them on Saturday nights. Hopefully next week we can come in, get a couple drivers down here, get a little bit more time with them. And stick around. We are going to go to the race right after this. All right, we're back. Sorry about that. We had to go over something real quick, but we are live here now at Pocono Raceway in the GFRL HomeNet hosting Cup Series, Pocono 300. These guys are in warm-up. There's about 7.5 minutes or so left in warm-up. I am here with Curtis Martin and Nathan Wingnut, and we're going to be bringing you this race here. I know some guys were asking about OSR, the guys that were doing the Saturday nights for them. I'm not really sure all what happened, but from what I understand, something came up that took more precedent over that, and they needed to step off for a little bit. So we were asked to come in and continue bringing the broadcast to you. So hopefully you guys will enjoy our broadcast. Also, hope we can bring you a good show and do the best we can. That's all we can say.
From what I've seen, it's going to be an absolute pleasure. These guys look like they drive real good.
Yeah, these guys put on a lot of good racing. I watch a lot of times at night when OSR was broadcasting. I would watch the racing, and these guys really bring a good show. They got 100 laps here tonight too, so definitely going to be. I don't know if it's going to be strategy or patience is going to be the key to bring you out to the end here.
Definitely going to be a bit. Doesn't matter if you're first at the 10 laps. It's going to be right at the end.
Right now we got 76 degrees in the air and 102 degrees on the track with partly cloudy skies. That's a little bit hot. That's a little bit slick, but we talked to some of the guys before in the pre-race show. They said the car was feeling pretty good, so I'll take that as rubber goes down. I'm expecting to see a little bit more grip maybe.
It all depends on how the rubber lays down too. If it gets layered with marbles, it could end up being more of a sliding hazard than it being more gripped. It could be sliding into the corner and having to lift off early, and that's where it'll be interesting.
Yeah, that can be something right there too, especially with the marbles. You know how it is when you get up in that higher lane and then you can't get out of it.
Once you lose the groove, you're gone sometimes. We'll see how it goes here.
Not sure if it's single car qualify or do they do an open qualify. Probably some of the things that should have found out. I was trying to grab Skylar in the.
The Xfinity race we did at Charlotte is an indicator it will be single car qualifying 2 laps.
2 laps.
Yeah, standard NASCAR qualifying.
All right. Yeah, we tried to get a word in with Skylar during the pre-race countdown, but he had his microphone off, so we couldn't get a word in with him. I really wanted to talk to him and find out some more, but we do know there is a 12X incident, right, Curtis?
That is correct. A 12X incident limit, and after you've hit that 12 DQ.
Yeah. And no fast repairs, which I definitely am a big fan of. I love having the no fast repairs. Hey, look who joined us in the booth. It's Skylar Allen. How you doing, Skylar?
I'm good, man. Sorry, I kind of stepped away for a minute.
That's all right. We were trying to get you during the pre-race countdown. We wanted to just go over some stuff with you and make sure we were on the same page as you guys. We got 100 laps here tonight, and if we're right, you have no fast repairs and a 12X incident.
That is correct.
Awesome. So
it'll be single car qualifying. If you'll notice on the grid there'll be a bunch of cars that'll drop to the rear. They'll be dropping to the rear because they didn't meet a practice requirement that we have. Due to the track size, the practice requirement's 10 laps consecutively. If they don't meet that, they fall to the rear. We also have a must qualify rule. If a driver doesn't set a qualifying time, irregardless of the reason, if a qualifying time is not registered by the simulation, then they get a black flag stop and go penalty to be served after the drop of the green flag.
Okay, good. All right, good, because we'll be seeing cars going to the back and be a little bit confused. That's good. I'm glad you told us that.
Yeah. Other than that, I mean, it's standard stuff. Typical NASCAR qualifying: 1 car, 2 laps. get the fastest one you can, and basically hope for the best. We had a really good race here in the Grand National Series last night, utilizing the Xfinity cars, and that really came down to fuel mileage for our drivers. So I look for that to happen again tonight. I think Pocono's kind of a key place for that to tend to happen, and so I think it'll be interesting to see just how that works out tonight.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of good racing going on this week with this new layout that they have here at Pocono. A lot of moves that you wouldn't really see. A lot of racing side by side. Not too much being split up. So we're hoping to see that again here tonight. We know you guys do a great job. We're new to it, so we're learning who's who and just trying to get more familiar with everybody's. But we definitely look forward to tonight's race and. This is the HomeNet Hosting Cup Series, and we appreciate you taking us on board, man.
Yeah, no, thank you. One other thing of note to make, and I think I made you aware of this in the past, but just to make sure we're on the same page, if you see a 300 numbered driver, those are our new drivers to the league. They've not raced with us before. They haven't raced with us for very long, and so we do that as an indication to our regular drivers to know, hey, we need to watch out for this guy. We don't know how he races, that kind of stuff. Gives us kind of a visual indicator, and it gives the broadcasters that same visual indicator of who's new and stuff like that.
Awesome. Yeah, see, we have Doug George here with a 310, which I don't have in the file because I'm running a new overlay tonight, but I'll update all my overlays so that we have all the 300 numbers in there for future broadcasts and try to get it up. So awesome, man. We got some good rules, got some good drivers. We are looking for a good race tonight. We'll try to grab a couple of different guys each week in the pre-race countdown and learn who's who and find out how their seasons are going and all like that. So we appreciate it, man.
Absolutely, man. And a big thank you again to SR Broadcasting for coming on board here mid-season for us and filling the need. We definitely want to wish Joe well over at OSR. And hope that whatever he's got going on, he can get taken care of. And definitely want to welcome you. Hopefully we put on a good show for you here tonight.
Awesome, bro. We'll be watching. Good luck and qualify.
All right, man. Have a good night.
All right. All right, that was Skylar Allen, driver of the number 96 Ford Fusion. He has the Marines on board on the side there. So we'll see what he's got to go on here tonight. We're going to get ready to go to qualify, but before we go to qualify, we're going to run the national anthem, so we're going to step away for a minute, and we'll be right back. All right, we're back here with qualifying going on right now. We're watching Skylar Allen in the number 96 going around. We'll see what kind of times are going to be put up here tonight. Who's going to take the pole?
Yeah, the poll's definitely going to be an interesting one. We got a lot of guys within a couple tenths of each other, and this track is a bit of a consistency breaker.
Oh yeah, that is long. The draft's gonna be.
Alan having it look like he had a little bit of trouble going through turn 2.
Even right there in turn 3, you see him get down to the yellow line, trying to hang on to it.
We're gonna have he's gonna have his time as well, as we have a few more times coming up. Alan running a 53.595, good for 8th position right now. And our pole sitter right now, Tyler Cox, with 51.938. That is 3/100ths faster than his practice time. Wow.
Yeah, he's definitely lighting it on fire. Right now we're watching Burchett just move up into the second place spot.
I think this race can go either way. It could be the guys running to save tires, or it could be the guys burning tires. Will all depend on if we're gonna have yellows and if it comes down to a fuel mileage race.
And don't forget too, 100 laps. I mean, that's there's a lot, especially if it's green. There's going to be green flag pit stops. We've seen a lot of guys come into the pits and throw the race away in the pits, and we've seen some guys take advantage of it and actually, gain positions on it. There's a lot of pressure coming into the pits under green and trying to get in and out smoothly.
This pit stop is a lot like Daytona. You got to get down to the bottom of the track, hit the brakes at just the right time so you hit 50 at the line, or it's just lost time from there.
I was just watching the 15 of Adam Chapman. Not really sure if he's just trying to warm him up a little bit before he takes the time, or just going to put up any time just to have that time, because you heard him say they do have to qualify.
I think he's going to try to keep her down at the back of the pack and race through the field.
And it looks like 35 Landon Lacey right now out on the track. Drive to End Hunger, number 35. We'll see what kind of time he gets put up here. So far, Tyler Cox holding on to that top spot. Joe Burchett in second. Dylan Vos third. And Josh Bonwell still sitting in fourth.
Landon Lacey running a 52.808, but we'll have to remember he will have a drop 10 penalty for missing that minimal practice time.
That's true. That's going to take something for me to get used to. I'm not used to that, so it's going to take a little bit for me. I may be like, hey, wait, why is he dropping to the back?
That looks like last car right now sitting qualifying time. Adam Chapman. 30 seconds left in qualifying time, and he's going to bring it across. I said a 2-minute 8.7.
Yeah, I'd say some room for improvement there.
Yeah.
Or if they're going to give out anything for the most improved, that'll definitely be a most improved even on the first lap.
Yep. So we're going to have 16 cars starting. We have 10 seconds left in qualifying till we're going to start gridding. And your pole sitter will be Tyler Cox, Joe Burchett sitting second, Dylan Vos third, Josh Bonwell in fourth, Eric Mickey in fifth. And Paul, you can have the rest. You have the 10.
Doug George, Michael Trevarthen, Jeff Schmidt, Austin Marion. We are waiting for these guys to grid up. We're going to hit the grid right now. And I love the way they start this off here with the cars this way now. I think they should do that every track. But starting first, Tyler Cox. He's going to take the pole here tonight, so congratulations to Tyler on the pole. Joe Burchett going to be starting second. Row 2 is going to be Dylan Vos and Josh Bonwell. Row 3 is going to be Eric Mick and Jeff Wubker. Row 4, Doug George and Michael Trevarthen. Row 5 will be Jeff Schmidt and Austin Marion. You want it?
Yeah. Row 6, Landon Lacey with Skylar Allen next to him. Row 7 is Robert Dudley next to Brian Littleton. Row 8, Eric Minch, John Morris. And then row 9, I think, is Chapman all on his own.
Yeah, and Jay Dubuque did leave. He brought his car back into the garage, so Jay Dubuque is not here tonight. So we're getting ready for 100 laps here. You are watching the GFRL HomeNet Hosting Cup Series Pocono 300. Should be a good race here tonight. There's going to be no fast repairs, and I think we're going to see a lot of high action. I think we're going to see a lot of moves, especially on the starts.
Oh, yeah, I think at the start there's going to be 4 cars that are going to fall back to the back of the pack.
Right now, we have the penalties have been announced. Landon Lacey will go to the back of the pack. Tyler Allen Sr. will also be receiving an EOL penalty. Brian Littleton will receive an EOL, and John Morris. They will all be forming up at the end of the longest line, along the inside line.
Yep. Someone has a good time, so having him at the back is going to be a bit of a shame. Let's say Tyler Cox, the only guy within 52. That is amazing.
Tyler Cox getting his tires good and ready to start this race and try to run away with it early. For that, anticipating a good long run.
Let's take a look at the weather one more time. We have 76 degrees in the air, partly cloudy skies, and 102 degrees on the track. Got 250 miles here tonight. Some nice looking paint jobs out there. Yeah, you know, but just from seeing the racing that we've seen this week at Pocono with this new configuration that they have, the racing, in my opinion, has definitely improved, and I think we're going to see that here.
Yeah, it definitely looks like it's going to be improved, and it's going to be a great race, I think.
Man, I'm excited for this.
Pacecar's going to be going into turn 3, prepping to dive down to that down pit road. And on this track, it's only a fraction of a second when the pace car dives to when the green flag flies.
Yeah, it's fast.
Pace car's going to dive. Green flag's going to go out. Tyler Cox is going to run. Joe Burchett on the outside line, keeping even. All lines staying in formation. No one making any moves yet. 35 making a bit of a move to the outside on the high line from the inside. We're going into turn 1, double file most of the way. Single file to the front. Burchett and Cox. 2 teammates getting single file to try to get a little bit of draft away from this pack.
And you look back to Josh Bonwell, and I believe that's Dylan Vos side by side. It's like Vos, it looks like Bonwell going to have the advantage coming through the inside.
Without a lot of rubber being played down, it's going to be a whole different race in the first 2 laps.
Oh yeah, right behind those 2 guys is the leader himself, Eric Mickey, right behind him.
Eric Mickey making a lot of movement so far, running 4th, started 5th, and he's going to be looking to make a run on Josh Bonwell going into turn 1. He'll take the inside, get a run and take it. Going to put him possibly in 3rd with the run out as Bonwell is going to slide up into that final groove, and he's going to give away another position to Michael Trevarthen. Doug George or Jeff Lubker also looking to the bottom line.
Looking at the 310 of Doug George right now, definitely moving forward. It's like everybody's going to single file out quite a bit till we get a little bit further back here to Brian Littleton and Robert Dudley. Littleton's going to take that spot. I'll put him up to 11th.
Looks like we're having a little bit of a battle starting to form. But it looks like Doug George and Bonwell are going to start to battle it out pretty quick here, as Bonwell got a good run through turn 3. Yeah, diving into 1, nice and smooth, and try to keep that draft going into the tunnel turn, see if he can make a move in. Looks like back of the pack right now we're having Morris and Minch will take the position on the inside. That will put Minch in 16th position and Morris into 17th. And Morris giving it up without a fight. He's gonna run it all the way down the short chute into turn 3 on the inside, and Minch is gonna keep the run and throw a little bit of a block.
It looks like right now everybody's kind of single filed in, so this might be a good time. Let's jump inside with our second place driver, Joe Burchett. We'll take a lap around with him from inside the car. Kind of get a feel for the track.
Yeah, see what different throttle points people are going to use, because this track is all by feel. There's no definitive throttle points here.
Had a pass for a fourth. Mick got passed by Trevathan, who just went in the wall, and Mick almost went into him. Trevathan's dropping spots now.
Trevathan trapped in the high line. Bonwell trapped on the bottom. Trevathan regained his speed, and he's looking to get his positions back with Doug George. But Bonwell's going to take the inside lane, and Lacey's also going to be on the inside. Trevathan in a world of trouble.
Oh yeah, he hit the wall, man. He's going to be losing some time for sure. Then again, his car might be fine. Might just be he lost the pace is all.
Any contact at this track is very aero sensitive with the two long straightaways and then the short chute. You have to be able to keep that draft, and any damage will hurt that.
Had a little bit of space. It looks like they're all starting to form up together again with Mick right up front. A bit of
looks like the leaders are out. Cox out 2/10 from Burchett, and then Burchett a whole second ahead of Dylan Vos, who's third, and it starts to file back to about fourth. We're starting to get a battle, and we're getting back to 2 wide racing. It could be looking at something 3 later. On Mickey, stuck on the high line. Bonwell on the inside line. He's losing, doesn't have anyone to draft him with. The high line's going to be working. 07 in a little bit of trouble.
And they're pulling up to the back of the 310 of Doug George right now, too. They got to get him moving so they can clear Bonwell. Bonwell holding on really good down there on the bottoms. Come real close, but no contact.
Just finesse through that corner by Lacey to not come down, and Bonwell to stay on the inside. And Bonwell's going to file in behind Lacey. Smart move to get in that draft.
And right now, the Tyler Cox and Joe Burchett have pulled away from the rest of the field.
Oh, they are gone.
This is the benefits to having teammates around you on an aero-sensitive track. Once you're gone, if you guys are going to work together, you guys are gone.
You saw Tyler Cox right there coming by to lead lap number 6.
He got looked a little bit loose at a 3, so I wonder if he's going to start to back it off to save some tires.
And Bonwell back down low with Trevathan up on top.
Looks like Bonwell's got the run. The high line before I think gets a little bit loose, and he's going to have to forfeit that run to Bonwell, and Bonwell's going to take 6th.
A lot of movement in that pack. Beautiful to watch, and sooner or later they're going to eat up Dylan Vos as well. That pack's going to get a little bit bigger.
Mickey starting to run. It looks like he's starting to run out of patience through that corner. He thought about taking the bumper to Doug George. Points leader tries to take it to the inside. Doug George holding his line, taking the low exit and going over to high to keep Mickey behind him.
And if you remember the 310, the numbers with the 3s on them are new drivers to the series. So Doug George doing a good job.
Turn 1, smart move.
Yeah, he does take that spot. We'll see if Landon Lacey's going to do anything with it now.
Lacey's got a little bit of a draft to get him, but he can definitely get there. He's got the pace.
And go back here to Bonwell again now, back with Trevathan. He's going to take a look on the outside. And Wupker, Littleton, and Schmidt behind him are closing in. We're going to have a 5-car battle going on back here.
That high line pass into 2, I didn't know if that was going to hold too well, but that run out was excellent.
Oh, and look at that. Who was that? That was the 09 of Wupker. Takes it high, squeezes through, back down low, coming down the straight.
That was fantastic. I thought he looked a little bit loose there, but he got it back down in the line. That was awesome. Gonna stick it to the bottom. Littleton holding off Schmidt. Schmidt on the high side.
Yeah.
09 of Wupker as well.
If you go back to the front two, Tyler Cox, Joe Burchett, they're still running within 2/10 of each other. They have cleared third place, Dylan Vos, and then right behind them, Minch and George again. And it looks like Eric Mick. Looks like Eric Mick does take that spot, so he's going to move up one. George going to move back again.
Looks like Lacey's starting to gain pace on George, so he's going to look to take that position away as well.
Oh yeah, and then we've got votes into that pack as well, so it's beautiful.
And look at the 61, Jeff Schmidt underneath. I believe that's the
Brian Little.
80, yeah. And they are racing right now for 9th and 10th.
Webker looking on the high side and taking this away from Schmidt as well. He's not going to get it before the braking zone. Schmidt's going to hold his position. Webker's got to keep looking.
And now that secondary pack has also finally reached up to Vos, they're pretty much right on him now. See if Nick passes him.
Vos finally able to find some people to draft with. But to try to catch a position on the leaders, Mickey looking to get a position out of this. Is he going to dive it in going into the corner? Yes, he will. Takes the inside, and Vos is going to give it to him.
Nice and clean.
Got Doug George looking to take position from Vos as well. Does he have the pace coming out? And Vos is going to have a great run out of the corner, and Mickey's going to lose his position he just gained. He's going to have to work again.
Oh, hold up.
Dives it high into turn 2. That line seems to be working better, that mid-line.
I think Vos might be losing to the guy after him.
Looks like Doug George looking to the inside of Dylan Vos as well. Not going to get there, and Vos is going to use that run. He's getting on Mick to try to get some separation. And Lacey getting to the back of Doug George to join this battle as well.
This pack's going to be exciting.
Yeah, Littleton looking to battle with Trevarth, and Bonwell finally passed and away.
I told you this track is producing some great racing lately with this new scan. I'm enjoying it.
Littleton getting a good run off the bottom. Trevarth and had to hang it there. He didn't get the bottom. We're gonna have to see what it's gonna look like going to turn 2. Looks like Trevarthen got the run he needed. Littleton backed off. Schmidt looking to join this battle for 8th as well as Littleton continues to battle with Trevarthen. Battles all over the track. It's hard. Littleton getting to the inside of Trevarthen, taken into the corner, turn 2. 3. Not bad.
But we'll see now. He's going to have the run on the outside. Is he going to do something going back into 1?
Trevarthen keeping even with Littleton. Is he going to perform a crossover going in? No, he's going to stick to the high line and give Littleton the position and draft him. He's going to almost perform that crossover, but he's going to have to brake as his tires didn't get him down to the line.
Oh!
Hard. Trevarthen getting a little bit of that as well.
And no yellow, which is good. They keep it going. Not good for Littleton, but let's go back real quick, see what happened to him. Oof. Watching him come out. Yeah, it looked like the back end went to go snap out, and he does make contact with the wall. Looks like everybody does a good job getting around him, so we're going to keep it going.
That was almost a lot of drivers that were that on.
We have Burchett now up in the front. Tyler Cox back to 2nd. It looked like Tyler Cox was getting ready to take a look on the inside one more time to try to take that lead back.
Now it looks like Cox is going to try it, but he's going to file back in line and draft his teammate. Go Burchett.
Looks like we lost someone, Eric Minch, back to lap 5. Ouch.
Yes, looks like Eric Minch is going to be getting some damage fixed. Chapman getting damage fixed. Actually, Chapman and John Morris are both behind the wall. They've both taken their cars behind the wall, confirmed.
Yeah, Minch went hard into the brutal hit.
Doug George to the inside of Vos down the front stretch, and in this battle. It looks like Vos is gonna just keep the high line, not gonna drive him down anywhere, and George is gonna have the low line going in. We're gonna have to see how this pans out.
And then we go back here. Jeff Schmidt and Wupker. Of Treverton. Jeff Schmidt does get by. That's going to move Jeff Schmidt up to 8th. Treverton's going to go back to 9th. Dylan Vos now again taking a look on the outside of Doug George.
Vos hanging out in the draft going into turn 2.
Meanwhile, while doing that, Mick is just leaving them in the dust.
Yeah, Eric's just checked out and gone. It looks like Cox is trying to get some draft with Burchett to try not to lose him. Oh, Burchett's gonna slide up. Cox is gonna stick to the inside line. He's not going to get the run he needs to get to Burchett, but he's going to take the inside line for turn 2. That middle line's really been benefiting in turn 2, so I don't know if the bottom is going to help him at this point. And Burchett's going to back it off.
And do the crossover.
Oh!
Over. Burchett retakes the lead through 2, and Tyler Cox loses a lot of time.
Yeah, it looks like he drove it in just a little bit too hard, man, and it was getting ready to go up to that outside wall.
Yeah, he's right up, lost a lot of speed, but he's probably still in draft range. He's going to catch back up to him.
These two do not play teammates. They'll battle as hard as they feel possible this race win. They're both after one thing and one thing only. That trophy.
Yeah, I hear that.
And, in fact, the guy in third, Eric Mick, is dying for them to fight more and more, because the more they fight, the closer he gets.
Mickey really looking to get into that battle. He's slowly making up time as Burchett and Cox both battle. We're going to be 17 laps in, and we're going to be, I think, 20 laps away from starting our pit cycle. We've got 35, 40 laps, Fuel.
Let's take a look back here to Austin Marion and Jeff Wupker for 10th and 11th. These guys are not letting each other get out of their way. Probably your closest. Let's take a look at Josh Bonwell sitting in 7th. Jeff Schmidt now up to 8th. Michael Treverton in 9th. And Austin Marion in 10th. Right now we have Joe Burchett up in the front, coming to get 6 laps led this time by.
And Wubker's trying to get in the draft of Marion to start battling for that 10th place position, but he's still got a bit of a ways to go. Right now, Burchett leads by almost a full second on Cox, and behind Cox is Eric Mick, looking to join this fight. 2.1 seconds back. Last lap used 0.4. That he is moving.
Oh yeah, for a guy who didn't think he had the pace on this track, he really has found that he's catching them quick.
1.9. He just gained two tenths there, and Cox as well gained 2 tenths on Burchett to get the lead down to only 0.7 of a second. Closest battle on track right now. It looks like we have Lacey and Bonwell, and Bonwell's trying to use that draft to get to his back bumper, but he's not quite there yet. He's got to just ride patiently and wait till he's there to make a move.
And we're up on the roof cam with Bonwell right now.
In the bottom in turn 3, Lacey thinking about the middle line and changes his mind to take half and half, losing Bonwell to run. Bonwell's going to get a little loose and take it all the way down to the bottom of the track and lose the draft of Lacey, and Lacey's going to get a little bit of breathing room.
That's rough when you work that hard to get to somebody and have an incident like that where it kind of backs you up, and you got to go back to all that work again.
Or if
Get
you
there,
can,
do it all
if
over
you
again.
can even get back there with all the tire wear you've been working to get there.
We see Bonwell again. Looked like he got a little bit loose just there. I believe that was coming out of the tunnel turn.
Looks like we're about to reach tire life, lap 20. So guys are gonna be thinking about if they should pit for tires, or if they're gonna just wait it out for the full fuel run.
I think what it's going to come down to is the handling on the car. Is it going to be worth it to stay out and take a chance on wrecking, or come on in a little bit early and freshen up those tires?
With tire wear as it sits, our leader Joe Burchett running a 55.3. We're about 2.5 seconds slow. So I think it might be beneficial for the next two drivers, Cox and Mickey, to possibly short pit and see if they can get a leg out on Burchett.
You see, Doug George ran a 55.141 that last time by.
Definitely looks
he
to be
closed
the
the gap.
fastest driver on track right now. Doug George, your fastest on track by a full tenth, and most of the field by 2/10 if not more. I think he's going to lose a little bit of pace, and Doug George is going to get a fantastic run out of the corner into the draft, and he's going to be almost within a car length by the time of the corner. All right, continue to follow into the corner. Mickey getting all the way down to the bottom. George doing the same thing. He's going to continue in the draft and try to continue that run he was getting down the front stretch down into this run into turn 2.
It looks like George ran the fastest lap again with a 471.
A 55.449 turned by Landon Lacey.
Oh, Mickey just hit the wall.
It looks like Mickey got a little bit loose into the wall. George looking to the inside line. And he's going to take the position away. Mickey's going to look to cross over, gets a little bit loose at the bottom. Makes a great effort to save it, and George is going to hold the position.
I thought he was going to snap and go on that one.
It definitely looked like it, but he made some great work there to keep the car straight.
Absolutely beautiful car control. I like this front four because they've got two pairs of two. Almost like they're trying to drive together while also fighting each other, so they're constantly losing time. But they're still so far ahead of everyone else.
Burchett still your leader. Cox 3/10 back, really trying to make that time up. He lost going through turn 2. It's gonna be another lap and a half probably till he gets there, unless Burchett makes a mistake. They're gonna run through turn 2. Cox is gonna get a little bit of a run, but he's not there yet. Possibly looking to make a move, looking something down the front stretch.
At this point, they've got to be dancing on ice. Like, their tires are going to be shredded, but they're still pushing.
Lacey on the outside of Bonwell in turn 3. Looks like Lacey's going to keep that position on the high line. Bonwell's not going to let it go without a fight. He's going to continue to stick on the inside, but he looks to be falling in the line going down the front stretch.
Let's see if he's going to try to take a look down low going into 1. Looks like he's going to stay behind him and try and keep with him, maybe half a lane up.
Looks like he's going to stick with him and look to gain Dylan Vos in the draft as well. Lacey taking a little bit of a tail slap to the wall on exit there. He's not going to take any damage, but that's just look at the state of the tires right now.
And here goes Bonwell now taking a look down.
Lacey giving it away, but he's going to cross him over going through turn 2 and take the bottom. Lacey's gonna retake that 6th place position away and look to take position from Dylan Vos as well. He's got a little bit of time there, but he's running faster than Vos at this point.
Oh yeah, once again, Vos is out on his own. No drafting partner, no one, just him in the open road.
Only 1/10 separates Burchett and Cox as Cox sticks it to the bottom. Burchett sticking to the middle to save a little bit of tires and try to block Cox's run down, and Cox is going to stick to his draft and maybe make a move into turn 2. Cox just sticking to Burchett, looking not to lose any time and possibly make a move down one of the stretches. You saw him in turn 2 about 7 or 8 laps ago. where he made a mistake and had to regain all the time he had. Gained on Burchett. He had lost having to brake in that zone. Like Bonwell retook the position away from Lacey. These two have been going back and forth all race.
I'm keeping an eye on the time for the 3:10 of Doug George and the 7 of Eric Mickey because I want to see if these guys are going to be closing in on 1 and 2.
George is a full tenth faster than the leaders as Cox looks to the inside. Return to on Burchett, and it looks like he's going to get that breaking point right. Burchett looks to the inside, but there's no room there. Cox gets a little bit loose, but he's going to keep it going, keep the run.
And that is going to let George get even closer now. Now he's 1.3 and closing.
Burchett looking to the inside of Cox. Cox taking it to the bottom line, throwing a bit of a block on Burchett, and taking it right back up top, denying Burchett any run out of the corner. It's a good move there.
Good clean race between those two. And the more they fight, the closer Doug gets.
Yeah, this is going to be a battle here, especially when we get ready to head some green flag pit stops going on.
0.9 seconds back and forth. Doug George only 1.4 as Cox and Burchett continue this fierce battle for the lead.
We're coming up to lap 28. Any guesses on when you think these leaders will be coming down?
I don't know, but
think
the leaders
it's going to
got
be
Robert Dudley pitting.
I think for the leaders, it's going to be in the mark. Robert Dudley, first man in the pits. Burchett taking the lead away from Cox. Cox looking to the inside, going down into turn 1. And Burchett's going to get the run.
Tires just too degraded to try and go on the inside like that. You're risking it.
The bottom line of turn 1 just isn't there anymore with these tires. Cox was lucky not to lose a lot of time there. He's going to get him behind Burchett going into the tunnel turn. Cox running a slightly lower line on exit than Burchett, possibly looking to make a move, a little bit of tail slap with the wall from Cox. Doug George 1.1 seconds back. He's going to be in the draft of the leaders right now. Cox on the inside, Burchett for going to the pits.
Wow, Burchett threw us for a loop there. I wasn't expecting him to go in that soon.
And maybe
a bunch of guys coming in. Let's see who all came in.
Burchett, Schmidt, Trevarthen, it looks like, has been in. Eric Minch is he's out of the race, I think. Yes. Minch is getting damage repair. Burchett in for 4 tires and fuel. Schmidt as well. And Trevarthen bringing it into the pits. Cox, your leader, still is in pit. George, only 0.6 behind Cox. Neither car is pit. Mickey's also got a pit, 1.7 seconds back.
And Burchett with a 15-second stop. Schmidt with a 14.6. And Trevarthen with a 15.1.
Cox coming in?
Cox is going to come in. Doug George is going to stay out and lead a lap. Eric Mickey is going to stay out as well. Dylan Vos staying out. We've still got a lot of drivers that are left to pit.
Let's watch Tyler Cox coming down pit road, see if he can get himself a nice smooth stop.
He's got to hit that stop perfect if he wants to keep fighting with Burchett. Any mistake is just lost time. They went in so close together.
Yeah, it looks like he had a really good stop.
Cox getting 4 tires and fuel as well. That's going to be the story. You need tires for this and you need fuel. You're going to require both in order to be fast.
14.1, so that was a really good stop by Tyler Cox.
Cox almost a full second faster than Burchett. Going to bring it out on the bottom and let Joe Burchett by. So Joe Burchett will still be ahead of Tyler Cox in the cycle.
So right now, Eric Mickey is your leader. He's got 1 lap led. Dylan Vose sitting second. Josh Bonwell third. And Landon Lacey sitting fourth at the moment.
Like Mickey's gonna possibly think about pitting. He's having some problems through that tunnel turn. Last few laps. We're down to 140 through the tunnel turn on old tires.
See Bonwell in a battle down here.
Oh yeah, Lacey caught him by about 0.2.
Like Mickey might be holding some lower RPMs to save some fuel. Dylan Post is going to continue to reel in Mickey. As well joining that fight. Lacey on the inside of Bonwell into turn 1. Post having problems at the bottom. Lacey looking on the inside. Bonwell on the outside. Possible 3 wide, and they're gonna get settled out. Lacey's gonna take third away from Bonwell. Vos is gonna stay in second, but Lacey's on.
I think once Bonwell gets some fresh tires on there, he's definitely got a good car here tonight. We know Bonwell, he's a hard driver, and you heard him in the interview. He does have a hard time with saving those tires, but doing a great job of it right now. Up here in fourth, battling it out. Oh, and they don't make any contact. He is going to get by the 19 of Vos. Vos going in.
Mickey and Vos both going into the pits. Your leader will be Landon Lacey. Second place, Josh Bonwell. I think this will be the last of the pit stops.
Take a look at Mickey's pit time and Vos's pit time. Once they get to their stalls, we'll see what kind of times they come out. Mickey and Vos now getting service done to their car.
Cox has some time to make up against Burchett. The full 1.2 seconds back. Probably lost time driving to his pit stop. His pit stall, he's slowly making up that time. He's 3/10 faster than Burchett at this point. It looks like Burchett is back up to speed.
And if you look, Vos with a 14.8. Mickey 32-second pit stop getting some repairs done. We're going to watch Josh Bonwell come down pit road. See if he can get into that pit stall.
It looks like Skylar Allen's going to be looking to possibly pit as well, or is he going to look to lead a lap? He's going to keep it out there and lead a lap.
You get some extra bonus points.
What he will not lead that lap. If he wants to lead a lap, he'll have to stay out one more lap as Lacey and Bonwell beat him to the line.
And Lacey and Bonwell both stopping their stall, no problem. Lacey with a 14.9. Let's see what Bonwell pulls up out of here. 15.0, and they are back out.
Allen, your leader right now. Burchett's only 3 seconds back on fresh tires. He's able to get through the tunnel turn at about 150 at the slowest, where Allen's having to get it down to about 142. Gonna go to the high line. Skylar's gonna keep it to the inside. It looks like he's gonna be ready to take her into the pits. He's gonna give Burchett a little bit of a battle, but he's gonna go to the pits.
And Allen never got scored for leading a lap.
No, it looks like Lacey and Bonwell beat him to the line before he could get there.
Yeah, so unfortunately he won't get that bonus point that time around. And that is going to put Burchett back up to the front. Tyler Cox right behind him in that number 14. And then back a little further in third is the 310 of Doug George. And then Jeff Schmidt right now sitting in fourth and at number 61. At number 2, Michael Trevarthen sitting in fifth. Jeff Wubker in the 09 is 6th. Austin Marion in 7th, followed by Dylan Vos in 8th. Then we go back to Landon Lacey in 9th and Josh Bonwell now sitting in 10th. And
I think Burchett might be doing some saving. He's been running a consistent 53.5 to 6. And Cox running a 53.2, so I think he's saving some tires, while Cox is just ready to take that lead back.
Tell you what, great race here so far. Coming to lap 37, we've seen some battling all through the field. I really like what this Pocono has brought.
We got Vos sitting 7th, Marion looking to get to Vos, but a half-second back right now. Looking to get that 7th place position. Lacey as well looking to join that battle. And Bonwell not much further behind.
Let's go through the field real quick. Sitting in 13th, 2 laps down, Robert Dudley. 12th is the 96 of Skylar Allen. 11th is Eric Mickey, and then your top 10. Tyler Cox, Joe Burchett, Doug George, Jeff Schmidt, Michael Trevarthen, Jeff Wupker, Dylan Vos, Austin Marion, Landon Lacey, and Josh Bonwell. And right now, the way we have 36 coming to 37 laps completed, 9 lead changes so far. And we still have about 63 laps still to go.
Lots of racing left. Marion's going to get stuck on the high side. Lacey and Bonwell taking positions away. Lacey getting up to 8th, Bonwell in 9th. Bonwell looking to keep that draft on Lacey to maybe take 8th away.
Yeah, we see Bonwell on fresh tires. He definitely can get that car up past a few drivers. We'll keep an eye on them as this battle heats up. Looks like Bonwell ran a 52.777 last time by.
Cox extends his lead to a half second. Looks like Burchett's going to keep to his tire-saving strategy, and Cox is going to continue to go as quickly as he can to make up as much time as he can on Burchett.
I tell you what, that's a hard thing to do when you're out there racing, to try and conserve and race at the same time.
It's definitely one thing you don't exactly want to have on your mind. Do I race or do I save? Doing a little bit of both can be dangerous.
Let's take a look at this 3-car battle here with Vos, Lacey, and Bonwell.
Looks like Vos getting stuck in the high line. Lacey's going to go to the bottom with a huge run going onto the front stretch. Bonwell looking as well on the low line, following with Lacey. Vos in position. Vos looking like he's in a bit of trouble to go to the back of this pack. Bonwell on the inside of Vos. Vos on the high line. He's not going to be able to hold his position. He's going to get stuck in the marbles.
And just that quick, we have a change for 7th, 8th, and 9th. The first car lap down is the 48 of Robert Dudley. Let's take a look.
Brian pulled it behind the wall too.
Yeah, he suffered.
He got a lot of damage.
Yeah, he suffered a lot of damage in there. He did a great job keeping the car pointing in the right direction, but that was a hard hit to the wall.
13 cars still on track. No shortage of action in the race, though.
So back up to your leader. We'll take a lap around with the leader here.
Cox driving it deep into turn 3, and with no regrets there, he's going to drive it right back out, shift it back to 4th, and continue running.
I've been hearing a lot of guys downshifting even in Wednesday nights and Thursday nights race this week. I usually don't downshift when I run Pocono, but I see these guys having a great advantage on it. I think I'm going to start trying to incorporate that back in.
Looks like with this new format, it looks like it actually benefits you to do the downshifting.
Yeah. We've seen one guy, I believe, Wednesday night downshift a little bit too early and blow it up.
I have done that as well, and it's disappointing and a little bit embarrassing, especially if you've got a lot of seat time in these cars, to just double tap that paddle if you're using a paddle, and to just see your race ended off of a simple double tap.
Because I remember the last Pocono build that they had, for me anyway, at least, really didn't make a difference on downshifting. I thought actually staying in fourth gear through the turns seemed to be helping me a lot more. Downshifting wasn't really an option at the time, but these guys, it seems like almost everybody's downshifting now. And if you look at the times that some of these guys are still pulling up, I mean, they're not far off.
Yeah, Cox down to a 54.6, Burchett running a 54.9. I'm wondering at what point Burchett's going to say enough is enough. Got to start going.
I think he may be trying to do a little bit of pit strategy here.
Yeah, I'm wondering if he's trying to save fuel and one stop it from here, and Cox is trying to get as much time as he can to negate that strategy. I think that's what's going on.
So a point leader just exited, parked his car and got out and walked off.
Eric Mickey takes it to the garage.
He had a really slow pit stop and you end up back in 12th. And I guess he just decided enough was enough and put it back in there.
Yeah, that's a shame. He was having a really good race and then had one bad pit stop and it threw him back.
Let's run through from 10 on down. You have Austin Marion, who started 10th. He's currently sitting 10th. Jeff Wupker, who started 6th. Right now, he is currently sitting in the 9th position. Dylan Vos, who started 3rd. He is sitting 8th. Josh Bonwell started 4th. Right now, he is sitting in 7th. Landon Lacey taking a look on the inside of Treverton, who started 11th. He's sitting 6th, going to move it up to 5th. And Lacey started 11th, and he will be currently sitting 6th.
5th now. As he took a position away from Trevarthen.
Right, okay, thank you. Jeff Schmidt started 9th. He's sitting up here in the 4th position, so he's definitely having a good run. Doug George started 7th. He's sitting 3rd. Joe Burchett started 2nd. He is still currently 2nd. And Tyler Cox, who started on the pole, is your leader. And he's going to have 22 coming to 23 laps led this time by. And you see the distance between him and Joe Burchett. And then let's go back to George in 3rd. They have quite a distance between the three of them. And Cox is slowly closing in on a car coming out of the pits, I believe.
Yeah, that'll be Eric Minch taking his car after getting damage repaired. Back on track, Minch currently 17th, 38 laps down, but he's still eligible to be able to get down to 12th with the laps running.
Yeah, and if you look at his car, he's got some major damages on the nose and the left side.
Definitely gotta keep a bit of an eye on the mirror, just so he's not holding up any of the leaders. He's gonna run the high line in turn 3, giving Burchett a nice line out.
Is there any way to tell if anybody has reached the 12X incident anywhere on here?
It'll tell you. I believe it'll tell you a driver has been disqualified.
All right.
Currently, I don't believe there's a driver above 5.
So watching the 310 of Doug George now going to slowly close in on Eric Minch.
Like Minch is, he's going to try to stick with Burchett and take what draft he can with his wounded Chevy SS.
Been in the pits for so long, I'm surprised that thing's actually going right now.
Oh. No, that car definitely running off of off some premium parts. It's able to run as well as it is, and I'm glad to see he stuck it out to be able to repair it and take whatever positions he can get.
So kid ourselves, that thing's running in hopes and dreams right now. Maybe a lot of duct tape.
Tyler Cox extends his lead on Burchett 3.4 seconds. And we're going to be about 20 laps into this run soon, about 10 more laps looking at that. When we're going to be pitting, I believe, is when we're going to start our cycle again.
Looking at the 96 of Skylar Allen Sr., who started 12th. He's currently sitting in 11th.
Having a little, it looks like he's having a little bit of issues running through turn 3.
Seem like a lot of the cars that they try to get down to the bottom. A few of them that do make it down to the bottom, the car's not really happy with it, it seems.
No, it seems if you have to drive the bottom a certain way, and if you don't run it that way, the car's unhappy.
So take a look at Dylan Vos.
Schmidt. And he will down the front stretch. Is Schmidt going to try to contend? Doesn't look like it. No, he won't.
Take a look at Dylan Vos and who is that? I believe Jeff. No. Yeah, Michael Trevarthen.
Trevarthen letting him by, pulling a crossover into the corner. Smart move, but Vos getting a run out of the corner.
So that'll move Vos up to 7th, Trevarthen back to 8th.
That's some rapid pace on Joe Bonwell. He was fighting with, I think it was Trevarthen for like 2 or 3 laps, and now he's up in the next 3 guys.
A lot of these drivers that thought they were having a little bit of issue with pace, they seem to be a little bit more confident at the halfway point of this race, and they're moving.
And right now, Jeff Schmidt in that 61 coming to the back of the 48 of Robert Dudley, who is 2 laps down. Schmidt's being chased down by Bonwell. Schmidt sitting 6th, Bonwell in 7th. Schmidt 5th, Bonwell 6th. And he does move high to let these guys battle and go by.
Too little, too late. Bonwell going to be ready to knock on the back door of Schmidt any minute now. Down this long straightaway out of turn 1, Schmidt's going to have a run. But I wonder how it's going to sit going into turn 2, single file.
We're sitting inside right now with Josh Bonwell in that 07 in 6 as he's trying to chase down the 61 of Jeff Schmidt for another position.
Now we're starting to see Joe Burchett's strategy starting to set in. He's 0.2 faster than Tyler Cox. Cox has a 2.9 second lead, but after about 10 laps, it's not going to be much with this if this is consistent.
Yeah, Joe's got his drafting partner Doug George right now, so they might be able to catch up to Cox pretty fast.
George as well. If George decides to battle, that's going to hurt Burchett, but if George decides to play ball, then Cox is in a lot of trouble. It looks like George is just going to stay in 3rd place and run whatever he can. Behind Burchett, it looks like Minch is going to try to get past George, but he's going to back it out.
Yeah, that kind of hurts you a little bit when you have a lap down car trying to battle with you. I know that works on your patience level a little bit.
There's a lot of factors on this racetrack, and a lapped car is not one you want to have to worry about. Minch is being very patient back there. George looking to the inside of Burchett to take 2nd place away. Going through turn 2, Burchett's going to hold the position. George is going to take a run out. They're going to be a little bit tight, a little close coming out of turn 2. They're going to get filed. George can come back to the trap.
And we're watching Tyler Cox just slowly step a little bit further away while these guys fight it out for 2nd place.
We're getting close to pitting time, so I'm wondering if Burchett is gonna try to stay out a couple laps or if he's gonna short pit.
And here goes George to the inside.
This is what Cox wants. Cox wants this battle.
It looks like George will take that spot for the moment. We'll see if Burchett's got anything back for him coming to the tunnel turn.
Doesn't
George
look like it.
pulling away. Through the tunnel turn, George losing a little bit of time. Burchett gaining time on George, keeping in that draft to gain even more time coming into turn 3. Burchett keeping to the bottom. George sticking to the middle line. Now we're going to be about 1.5 seconds behind Cox.
Yeah, this isn't over yet.
Oh yeah, they're 0.4 seconds faster than Cox. At least Doug is at the moment.
This tire saving strategy seems to have worked. I didn't know if they'd have enough time to be able for the strategy to actually set in. Now they're reeling Cox in.
It makes you wonder if Cox really burned up those tires, or is he doing a back off a little bit while these guys, because he has a pretty good distance on them. I don't know if I would play.
I think these guys pit between 28 and 32 last time, so it'll be in the next 10 laps. I believe we're going for our next cycle with these three.
Hey, look at the 3 cars going on here. Dylan Vose, Jeff Schmidt, Josh Bonwell again trading places one more time. Vose in 5th, Schmidt.
Vose getting a little bit of a lead on Schmidt, but Schmidt looking to get back. Bonwell looking on the high side of Schmidt. He's not going to get the run he needs to take the pass, so he's going to stay on the high line.
Looking back to the 07 of Josh Bonwell from the 61 of Jeff Schmidt here. And you see the run Bonwell gets almost right back to his bumper.
But now Doug George in 1 second of Tyler Cox. If Cox has anything left and he's been saving, he's got to look to move.
Yep, burn them tires up, pit in, and get a fresh set.
We're within 10 laps of the window for these guys, so he's got to burn what he's got, or he's gonna have to face a battle. Gonna take it into turn 3. Is he gonna pit now, or is he gonna keep running? It looks like he's gonna keep running. Coming to the line. George 8/10 back from Cox, gaining 2/10. It looks like Cox did turn on the jets, where George is gaining about 4/10 to half a second a lap. Now it's at just 2/10. It looks like Cox is finally turning on his jets again.
And if you look now, Bonwell moves up to 6, Schmidt back to 7th, and Vose up in 5th, I believe. Yeah. And I believe that is the number 2 of Trevarthen now getting into this.
Trevarthen looking to get into a bit of a battle. A little bit of a crinkle on that right side, but it looks like they got a little bit of that damage fixed last pit stop. Get a huge run out of turn 2 onto Schmidt and get within his draft range.
Oh man, Doug's almost right on Cox at this point. Well within draft. He's not getting away now.
3/10 separates Tyler Cox and Doug George in this battle for the lead.
We'll keep an eye on this for a little bit. We'll try and keep an eye on the times for these other drivers battling it out.
Like, Burchett's gonna stay out of this battle. He's 2 seconds back from the leader. It looked like he wanted no part in this battle. He's gonna stick with the strategy he had. George is going to be sticking in the draft to Cox, then going to the high line. Cox looking to take whatever time he can to stop any run George is going to get. Going down into turn 1, it looks like George might try.
Oh, contact!
Cox in the wall.
Oh, that is gonna hurt. No yellow. Oh, Cox taking a heavy hit. Oh, and down into the inside wall.
Oh.
And the yellow's gotta come out.
That's gonna end Cox's night. Doug George.
Oh.
Damage.
Let's go back quick and take a look at that.
I don't know what to say there.
Oh, hang on. It's giving me the...
Yep. Cox hit his lifting point, and it looks like Doug George might have still been on the throttle.
Yeah, George was still accelerating.
Yeah.
Pressure tires.
Wow, that's a shame for Tyler Cox, who had a great run here tonight, too.
And it looks like, yeah, he got the inside wall and decided to take the car behind the garage. That is a shame. He was having a great race. Doug George will be your leader. Burchett's 1.3 seconds back. Look, he's now turned on the jets and ready to take the lead back. Lacey sitting 3rd place. It looks like at this point it's scoring him 3rd.
I tried to go back and look at it. It wouldn't let me go back, so I couldn't get to it. Sorry about that. What a shame. Great car he had out there tonight, too. Dominating run.
He was having a great run, and accidents happen.
Let's take a quick look at the top 5. Doug George up in the front. Joe Burchett in 2nd. Landon Lacey running 3rd. Dylan Vose running 4th. Josh Bonwell right now in your top 5. Go back to 6th place, the number 2 of Michael Trevarthen, and then 7th is Jeff Schmidt, 8th is Jeff Wubker, 9th Skylar Allen Sr., and 10th Austin Marion. Robert Dudley right now still being shown 2 laps down in at number 48, holding on to 11th, and your only other car on the track in 15th, 39 laps down, Eric Minch.
And still keeping that car on track to gain any positions he can.
And Jeff Schmidt taking it down pit road.
Now, when are the leaders going to pit? That's my question.
Well, they see.
Burchett was saving almost this whole run, and George was looking to race this run.
Well, now they see Schmidt down there, and you know how it is when you go by and you see somebody in the pits. It puts that little bug in your ear. Unless you have a spotter up there talking to you, you start getting edgy. You want to get in.
You start second guessing yourself. That's definitely where you need someone on the outside, kind of keeping your strategy in check.
Not bad. Schmidt with a 15.0. Let's go back up to Landon Lacey, sitting in 3rd in at number 35.
Lacey just sitting and relaxing 3rd place. Doug George still your leader with that front. He's got front end damage. I don't know how bad to an extent. But it's got to be a question in George's mind. Can I make it another 39 laps?
Yeah, and he's got some, from what I'm seeing, some really heavy front end damage from that.
All around the radiator smashed in, so I'm wondering if he does have some permanent radiator damage or if it's just going to be okay.
And he's going to bring it down pit road. That's going to give your lead back to Joe Burchett, Landon Lacey second, Doug George third, Dylan Vose fourth, and Josh Bonwell fifth.
I wonder what kind of strategy George has now. If he's going to take the 4 tires and fuel and go, or if he's going to get some damage to it.
Let's take a look at him in the pits. Let's put up the pit lane timer real quick. 14.8, did not get any damage fixed. 4 tires and fuel.
Yeah, he's going to bring it back out on track, and it looks like Burchett might be looking to pit. Oh, Trevarthen looking to the inside of Burchett, getting in tight with Burchett there, and Burchett's going to take it to the pits. New leader, Landon Lacey.
So Landon Lacey's got 3 laps led and back out in the front. Get a couple of more laps led here tonight. Let's keep the pit lane timer up. We'll see what kind of time Burchett gets inside the pits. We've seen about 14 something to 15s for a bunch of these drivers here tonight. 15.4 for Burchett.
I believe our fastest pit stop that I've heard right now is a 14.1 out of Tyler Cox in the first cycle.
And right now we're looking at Landon Lacey, Joe Burchett, Dylan Vose, Josh Bonwell, and Doug George, your top 5.
Doug George driving that damaged car, he's got to have some radio damage with that. Surely things are going to start getting warm.
Yeah, and sometimes while you're driving like that too, it's just a surprise, boom. You see it blow up before you can finish the race. I know I've ran a few times with a damaged car with my fingers crossed, hoping I can make it to the end.
It looks like George got a little bit of the wall exiting 2.
He's probably doing the same thing, man, crossing things and praying this thing doesn't blow up until the end, because he's probably in the best position for first place right now.
Him and Burchett both in the best positions to cycle, but I think George has the best spot. It's all about if that engine can keep running.
Oh yeah, and he's got some damn good pace in that thing. With Cox gone, he's probably one of the fastest around.
Burchett still looks like he might be saving a little bit. They might have one more pit stop to go for tires. All depends if they're gonna try to stretch it out with tires, or if they're gonna go for one more set.
So Dylan Vose right now in the pits. We'll keep an eye on his time. That's gonna move Josh Bonwell to second, Dylan Vose to third. Up Doug George to third, Dylan Vose to fourth, Joe Burchett to fifth.
Right now, George has a 10-second lead over Burchett.
Dylan Vose with a 15-second stop that time. We'll just watch now for Landon Lacey and Josh Bonwell when they are going to come into the pits.
That gap between Burchett and George is just... like, Burchett's going to have to push to catch up to him at this point.
At this point of the race, 35 laps to go. Oh, George, 10-second lead, but he's got to rely on that front end damage to keep that car together.
Who knows? Maybe that front end damage made the car lighter, because God, he's got a good pace right now.
And it looked like we had a little bit of contact. 61 going around.
Around he's going to keep it stable though on the front stretch. Looks like Webker is going to be coming down the line. Let's see if we're going to see a little bit more with this lower car on track.
Going back real quick with Jeff Schmidt to see what happened. I don't know if he tried to go down low, passing the 96 of Skylar Allen or what, but I'm not sure if they made contact. We're going to watch them right now on the replay here.
He tried to cut the inside of Skylar.
Oh, yeah. right into the door. It does a good job saving it. It's going to get a little bit of damage on that wall, though, on the right side. But, man, that was crazy. All right, we got a bunch of guys down pit road. Lacey, Bonwell, Marion.
And I believe that'll be, I think there's Skylar Allen that's still got a pit.
And Lacey with a 14.9. Bonwell with a 15.4 and Marion with a 16.3. That puts Doug George back up in the front. Not officially yet till he crosses the line.
I got to see what the official ruling's going to be. I believe Doug George will be your leader at the line. And Doug George will be your leader. Burchett running second.
And look who's running third, Trevarthen.
Trevarthen in third. It looks like Trevarthen's going to be a full straightaway back. He's got a lot of work to do if he wants to get involved in this battle.
Dylan Bose sitting right now in fourth. Go back here. I think I see something going on back here. Looks like Josh Bonwell and that's the 65 of Austin Marion. He is one lap down.
Marion's going to take the high line and let Bonwell go by.
And a couple of guys down the pits. Jeff Schmidt, Skylar Allen.
This will be the guys finishing their cycle.
14.7 for Schmidt. 17.7 for Skylar. Yeah, I think he might have got a little bit of that damage fixed from the contact that they had. So now if you're the leader, you want it to stay green. If you're the guys in the back, you want a yellow to bunch this thing back up.
Looks like now we've got to reverse what we had last cycle. It looks like Doug George might be saving some tires, and Burchett is burning them up to try to get to him. 8.2 second separation. Burchett almost 7/10 ahead, or faster than George. Going to be about 13 laps, looking like if this is consistent time.
We've had 13 lead changes so far this race.
Wow. And we've been green this whole race.
That's amazing right there. I'll tell you what, we haven't been let down all week at this track. Wednesday night, Thursday night, and tonight, Saturday night, it's been some amazing racing going on.
Like Burchett down to 7.9, and Trevarthen 21 seconds back, Lacey 24 seconds back from the leader, Bose 24.8 back behind the leader, and Bodwell sitting 31.2 back, and that will round out your lead lap field.
And if you look, there was a little bit of heat going on here between 4th and 5th place, Lacey and Vose. Vose was a lot closer to Lacey, kind of backed it off just a little bit, and we'll see if he's going to bring it back any closer, or I'm not really sure unless Lacey went by him, and that's why when I caught it, they were up against each other.
Yeah, I think that's when you caught it, because Lacey looked to be like he had a huge run there, and Webker looking to make a pass on Trevarthen. It's not for position, but it's another car that Trevarthen might have to battle with in order to get a chance at these leaders.
And that hurts.
Yeah. Oh, we have Schmidt in the wall. Into turn 2, he's in the wall hard, and he's gonna roll it down to the bottom. Major right side damage all over the car.
Yeah, we're taking a quick look.
And no yellow will fly. We will stay a caution.
Oh, yeah. You see him slide it. Ooh, a hard hit into the wall. They still got that car going, so not too bad. Major right side damage, though. who is that? I believe that is Lacey that ducked it down all the way to the low side to get around the 2.
So a bit of a report. I was looking at the RPMs going through between 1 and 2 between Burchett and George, and it looks like George does not have engine damage.
That's amazing with that amount of damage to the front to not have any heating issues or something.
It doesn't sound like he's having any slow gears for RPM. It looks like his gears are ready to go. Burchett's 0.9 seconds back. He's got to start moving.
And if you look at Lacey right now, Lacey just ran a 53.6. We'll see what he comes getting across the line. 53.957. He is definitely putting some power down in that number 35. Burchett with a 54.635 and George with a 54.602. So if he can keep that up,
Lacey can keep this pace difference over George. Lacey could be battling with about 3 to go.
just have to see what kind of drop off he gets along the way.
Yeah, that's what I'm yeah, the same thing. Schmidt's still able to get the car on the track. He's a little slow due to the damage. His car's a little bit tight, and Lacey's gonna have to try to find a way by him.
Looks like Joe Bichette's 0.2 faster than Doug almost every lap, so he might start catching him.
Might start catching him, but at 2/10 rate, he will not catch him before the end of the race.
You see the 61 Jeff Schmidt does move up and let Landon Lacey go on by in at number 35. But Lacey's still moving forward, trying to catch these guys up in front of him. He's back quite a ways, but still definitely running some top 53s right now.
Lacey 21.3 back, and I think about 6 laps ago he was about 26. He's making up a lot of space.
Right now, it looks like the number 2, maybe if Trevarthen, might be closing a little bit on Dylan Bose for 4th place.
Bose making up. It looks like he made up a little bit of time on Lacey there. Lacey made up 1.5 seconds on the leaders. The closest battle right now for position. The ticker's showing both a lap down, so it's for position. Battle for 8th, Lufker and Schmidt.
Then behind them you've got 4th and 5th of Bose and Trevarthen as well.
Trevarthen and Bose is going to look to cycle past Schmidt on the inside. Trevarthen trying to gain some time during this pass. It looks like Bose is going to get by clean. Schmidt's going to stick to the high line. Trevarthen's got to find a way past Schmidt. Schmidt's going to go down to the bottom and allow Trevarthen to get by before turn 2. Joe Burchett, 9.6 seconds back from the leader. Leader ran at 56.1. Not exactly sure what happened there, but he lost a lot of time.
And see if we see any new damage on the car. Still see a lot on the front. Might have got a little bit more on the right side.
It looks like he got some more on the right side.
Yeah, might have caught a piece of the wall and slowed him down just a little bit. Want to remind everybody you're watching the GFRL HomeNet hosting Cup Series here at Pocono for the Pocono 300.
Right now, no major battles on track. Like George extending that lead on Burchett to 10 seconds now. 21 laps to go this time by. Doug George still the leader.
The question is that car going to make it to the end? We're all crossing our fingers, man.
Yeah, that's going to be questionable.
That is the question, but it's been about 20 laps since the incident, and the car hasn't seen showed any signs of degradation. So I think he might be able to make it. Got about almost 20 minutes of race time left. Can he do it? Burchett still looking to make up time. 10.5 seconds back from George. Lacey only 17.8 seconds back from George.
He lost time again on George. Looks like George is leaving Burchett in the dust with that big car.
Yeah, it looks like Burchett keeping to a tire saving strategy. Lacey making up as much time as he can. 17.8 seconds. There is a possibility that he can catch George.
Oh yeah, Lacey's about 0.6 of a second faster than Burchett. That's beautiful.
Now, my question is right now, Burchett and Lacey are both with overtake. Is Burchett laying off to get a draft?
Save his tires and then go for
strategy? Could this be the strategy to get the 1-2 for overtake? Only 10 seconds separates, 20 laps to go. With the draft partner, you can make that time up easily.
But now the thing is, too, will they catch up to him and run with him, or will they try and do a battle and slow them both down?
That's gonna have to be the question at hand. Is Burchett gonna be the leader? Is Lacey gonna be the leader? And then when they get there, what is George gonna do? There's a lot of variables coming to the bottom of the race that could end up with either of these three being the leader or somebody we haven't seen in the front yet. Michael Trevarthen takes a short pit stop. So now, with that happening, with Trevarthen taking a pit stop, is Burchett possibly either waiting for his teammate to draft to save some fuel, and will Doug George be short?
Well, if Burchett's waiting, Lacey is not catching up. He's running about the exact same time as Burchett has.
Yeah. So did they realize they're not going to have the fuel to do it? Fuel will be close, and Trevarthen just short pit. So that's one of the questions I have to ask.
Yeah,
is there enough fuel car?
With Trevarthen pitting, that makes you wonder who else is going to have to come in for a short pit. Is it going to be that close? Have to keep an eye on some of these drivers and see. Let's pay attention to see if anybody's starting to cut or clutch through the turns. Look at Trevarthen right now coming up.
Not for position, but it's really showing what the new tires are looking like, and it might make these leaders think.
And I mean, even though it's only going to be 17 laps to go this time by, it's a big track. 17 laps is still a pretty decent amount of time.
Now the question is, will they have the fuel? Do the top three have enough fuel, or will they need to pit?
You see Lacey right now taking a look underneath the 96 of Skylar Allen Sr. Not for position, but gonna have to use a little bit to get by. Lacey sitting in third.
Run it down. Allen getting a good run out. Lacey's gonna be patient to get on the throttle and get the line he wanted out of turn 1.
Tell you what, these guys did a great job here so far. We've had 83 laps completed, 13 lead changes, and no cautions. And we've had some racing going on from position 1 all the way back to position 18 at one point.
This whole race has just been insane. And it looks like Eric Minch will be able to take 12th away from Tyler Cox. And despite having a bit of a rough start and having to sit for engine damage and going 39 laps down, he's still going to get a good finish out of it.
That's why you got to remember, it's not over until it's over. If you can get that car repaired and get it back out, you know, you get lucky sometimes and you can gain a couple of more spots. He started 15th. He's currently sitting 13th, so he's gained 2 spots from where he started. So it's definitely a better night than when he first came in.
When he first came in, if he had left after that wreck, he would have been sitting 17th. Right now, he's sitting 12th at the end of the race.
That's not bad at all.
Better score. And George still the leader, 10.6 seconds separates Burchett and George, and 17.2 between Lacey and George. But it looks like any time gained by Burchett and Lacey has fallen off due to tires. And Burchett still looks like he might be saving something.
He ran a 55.555 that time by.
When did our leader last pit? Our last pit stop looks like it was on lap 63. It will be almost 30 laps ago, so they might be a little bit short.
Well, side note as well, we got Josh Bonwell in 5th, catching up with Dylan Vos. He's not quite in draft range yet, but he's been catching by about 0.2, 0.4 of a second every lap.
Getting within 1.1. Vos is gonna need to find some time. He's got no one to draft with him. Bonwell is just getting within drafting range.
Been keeping an eye on him. He's been catching pretty damn quickly.
Gonna get a good run into turn 1. Vos is gonna stick to the middle, and Bonwell is gonna be within 2 car lengths. Vos is gonna get the high run out of the corner late into the chute, going into the tunnel turn. And it looks like Vo's gonna have a little bit of issues with that bottom line. Bonwell's gonna get slowed down as well, but he's gonna take the bottom line away for turn 3, and we're gonna have a drag race to the line for 4th position. And Vo's gonna back it off and just take the draft.
Yeah, it looked like Bonwell's car definitely handling better.
Now, does Burchett's fuel-saving strategy pay off?
Has he got enough tires to make use of it as
and
well?
Did you see Doug George went in for a 13.9 second pit? Burchett back up to the lead.
4 tires and I believe half a tank of fuel to get him to the end.
So right now,
left to hold off the lead, or is Lacey gonna get to him?
right now, your top 5, Joe Burchett sitting 1st, Landon Lacey 2nd, Doug George 3rd, Josh Bonwell 4th, 3rd, Dylan Vos 4th, and Doug George 5th. Didn't score fast enough. Landon Lacey only 5.2 seconds back from Burchett. Keep an eye on some of the times. He did run a little bit faster time than Burchett that time by, but we don't know if Burchett is saving or not, too.
Well, we don't. What we also don't exactly know is with the amount of fuel Lacey was burning, getting to within 17 seconds, does he have enough? Because early on in that run, we saw Lacey going full bore to take the position away. Does he have enough fuel to hold off Joe Burchett?
That's true.
Burchett had a really slow lap this last lap. 57 seconds.
57.4. I think he's starting to clutch.
Probably waiting up for Lacey, gonna try and tag him a bit, save a bit more fuel.
Save as much fuel as he can get. And Bonwell 17 seconds back in third place. Vos outside the podium looking in. Only 1.2 seconds separating Vos and Bonwell. Doug George looking to get to Vos 3.1 seconds back, but on fresh tires.
Right, you have to see. I know the fresh tires are definitely going to make a big difference, even with the damage on that car. So we'll have to see as they close in if he's actually got something. He's running 52.7 last time by. Yeah, and he's going to close.
George has enough at least to get to third. If he keeps his pace above Burchett, and Burchett can't find pace, he could cycle out to the lead. It's entirely possible he could cycle back out to the lead.
I did a lap with Burchett. He's not been clutching in. Just been, looks like he's driving pretty conservatively.
Yeah. Burchett running a 56.0 last lap. Doug George the 52.8. 3 seconds a lap. We got 10 laps to go.
And George does move up to third. He does get by Josh Bonwell. I think Bonwell may be saving right now.
If these laps continue to run, George will have a 12-second lead on Burchett by the end, if his tires don't fall off horribly. So it's entirely possible he could retake the lead. Even within 15 seconds now, running a 53.0, Burchett running a 56.2, and Lacey with a 55.6. Lacey only 3 seconds from Burchett. Finally getting within a range of possibly being able to take that win.
Jump inside with Burchett. We'll take a quick lap around with him, and we'll jump in a couple different cars and kind of hear where they're at with their throttle. If anybody's starting to clutch, who's saving.
Yeah, he's letting off the gas very early going into turn 1, and he's not.
And I don't hear a downshift.
Yeah, he's keeping it forward the whole way around.
Yeah.
And you didn't hear him hit the throttle until he was fully at the exit, which is different for the normal use of turn 1, where you lift for a little bit. As soon as that car starts to turn, you throttle steer it right through.
All right, I'm inside. I was gonna say I'm inside with Lacey right now, seeing what he's doing as we go into 3.
Yeah, I was keeping an eye on Burchett. It looks like he's had a few close calls. Look at those tires are just gone.
Lacey doing about the same thing as Burchett, and Doug George is 100% wheeling it through the corner to try to get his first place position back.
And shifting.
Yes.
Let's go back to 4th.
And George running a 53.5.
Well, 2 seconds faster than Lacey or Burchett.
And 2.5 seconds on Burchett. We're getting 7 laps to go. 10 seconds separates Doug George and the leader, and George has to make it by Lacey. Here's where it's getting to crunch time.
Definitely closing the gap, and 7 laps to go is a long way around, so plenty time for him to get there. will he have enough to get to Burchett and get by?
That is the question, because he's got to get by Lacey. And Lacey's had a strong car this entire race, and I don't think he's going to be in third place. I think he wants the win, but he's okay with second, giving Burchett the lead. But he does not want third.
And looking all the way up to the 41 of Joe Burchett right there. George within 6.5. Lacey about 1.7.
Five laps this time by Joe Burchett, still your leader, followed by Lacey, followed by George. Only half a straightaway separates your leader in third place, and third place and George is on tires.
And he is flying.
He turns a 53.9, a 55.8 out of Lacey, and a 56.1 out of Burchett.
Every lap is the full 2 seconds faster. He might just get up and pass all of them if he gets there in time.
Getting close here, coming to 4 laps to go.
4 laps to go in the tunnel turn.
And Lacey's still catching Burchett as well, so we might have a 3-way at the end.
Yeah, we could be 3 wide down the straight. At this lap, this will freeze the field. If we ever wreck, it will be a frozen field. This will end it. George within 4 seconds of your leader. Lacey within 1.4. George running a 54.2, a little bit of fall off there, 1.4 seconds faster than Lacey with a 55.6, and Burchett running a 56.0. This is going to be close.
Yeah, I just think George is driving the wheels off that car right now to try to get back up by these guys, and the tires are going to start to feel it. But look at Lacey. Lacey's closing in. He's down to 5/10.
Lacey's in the draft of Burchett. Now the question is Lacey gonna save some fuel so he can battle with George if need be, or is he gonna take the lead?
Gonna be 3 laps this time by.
Burchett's leading Lacey, getting a run from the draft going into turn 1. Lacey not even gonna take a peek. Burchett's gonna take it down to the bottom, and George is gonna be 1.9 seconds back. 3 laps to go.
The speed game draft is beautiful. Like a full second faster than Burchett in that lap for Lacey. And then Doug's a second faster than him. Beautiful.
Coming down to.
This is going to be, I don't think they're going to let George by so easy. So this is definitely going to be a 3-car battle here for the win.
Yeah, George is going to have to fight every inch if he wants this win. Lacey and Burchett have to be on comms talking about what the game plan is here. And we're going to get to the line. George 0.6 seconds back, 2 laps to go. Burchett the leader, Lacey in second. Lacey goes to the inside line in turn 1. Burchett dives to the inside of Lacey. George just having to sit back and watch as this battle goes. Looking three wide down to turn 1. He's going to take the better of it and take Lacey's draft.
Lacey is the fast one.
Into the tunnel turn, still looking 3 wide. Lacey with the nose advantage. Burchett getting a run on the low side, and George still just outside looking to make it 3 wide. Into turn 3, white flag this time. Lacey will take the advantage. Burchett sticking on the bottom. And now it's now or never for Doug George.
Well, Lacey got a little bit wiggly there.
White flag.
And
they're going to go 3 wide.
3 wide. No.
3 wide. Lacey, Burchett, and George. George on the inside. Take it to the yellow line. He's going to make contact with Burchett. Burchett's gonna get Lacey. George takes the lead and Lacey second. Burchett sitting third.
Wow.
Lacey's gonna have to make a move quick. We're gonna go into the tunnel turn. Lacey about half a second back from George. Through the tunnel turn, Lacey getting a good run out. We're gonna be going into turn 3, but another half a second still separating Lacey and George. Burchett is out of fuel. Burchett's out of fuel.
Oh man.
3 will be your race winner, followed by Landon Lacey. Burchett's gonna have to run it to the line. Bonwell in turn 3 right now. Burchett will hit the line and take third.
Wow.
What a beautiful
What a battle
lap.
to the line. On strategy. Doug George making a gamble, taking fuel and tires, taking the win by .668.
In that damaged 30 car. Oof.
Off of a huge 3-wide move on the bottom of the racetrack. Left side wheels below the yellow line. That was amazing. I don't think I've seen a move like that at this track.
To point out, he's also one of those 300 number cars, so it means he is new to this league.
Yeah, he's new to the league, and he definitely made a name for himself there. And as I say, Rubbins racing, he made a little bit of contact with Burchett, but it wasn't dirty. The little door tap, and it sent Burchett up.
Yeah, Burchett's tired. Just gone. He was holding on for dear life, and he held on right to the last lap.
I'll tell you what, he definitely did the right thing by going in that pit when he did and getting 4 tires and fuel, because that was the difference on getting him back up to the front.
That definitely was the difference. And now the question is, had he made a mistake, how much closer would it have been? Here he's gonna burn down the house on the line on a hard-fought victory.
Wow, that was a great finish.
He did not stop. He wheeled it the entire 100 laps. Started 7th, finishing 1st.
All right, we'll give these guys a minute to get themselves situated, and then we'll get some drivers down here. We'll go 3, 2, 1. We'll talk to the top 3. We'll see if we anybody else we want to talk to. If not, man, what a crazy race that was.
Yeah, that was an amazing race.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with 3, 2, 1.
Is your personal computer running as well as it should be? Has something gone wrong and you don't know how to fix it? We rely on our computers for everything nowadays. Work, entertainment, and socializing, as well as storing personal data and precious photographs. So when your computer stops working, it could seem like life has stopped too. Our computer repair technicians are fully qualified and skilled. They are experienced and efficient enough to locate the cause of the problem and find the right solution to get your computer back up and running in the fastest possible time. And they'll do it without confusing you with geek speak or charging you the earth. Don't risk losing everything. Get your computer running right again. Call the professionals today.
All right, we're back live. We're going to get a word in with our third place driver here tonight as soon as I can find him here. Oh, I had him. All right, there he goes. We have Joe Burchett down here. Joe Burchett, this is the SR broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
All right, man.
All right.
Oh, go ahead, Curtis. I forgot.
You started second, finished third, had a really good race. Talk us through your strategy, 'cause we saw a little bit of a strategy change after the first pit stop where you started holding off a little bit.
Just kind of started talking it over with the guys in the overtake room, and we felt like if we could stretch it, we could make it on a 2 pit stop race, and just started backing everything up and trying to save as much as I could, and it's just it's hard to do at Pocono, and I was doing everything I could. I let Tyler go there for a while and just kind of run and just let it kind of coast going in the corners, trying to save a tire, save a little bit of gas on each run to see if I could just stretch it all the way to the end from pitting as early as I did in that first run. And just unfortunately, I think we came up about a half a lap short on gas. Doug and Landon was both able to get around, but all in all, it's decent race.
Yeah, it was a really great race we saw from the booth. Talk us through that last lap when you guys went in 3 wide going into turn 1. What were your thoughts there?
Me and Landon both knew that Doug was on that fresh tire, and he was, we knew he was going to try to make a pass. We kind of just made a little pact that, see what we could try to do to keep him behind us and see if we could battle it out and not, try to give him the lane. But he's able to get below us down that wide front stretch, and I just tried to run him as hard as I could, and we, made a little bit of contact, but nothing that wrecked anybody. So, all in all, it was a good race. Congrats to Doug. He ran looked like the perfect strategy making that hit race.
Yeah, well, before we let you go and celebrate with your teammates, anyone you want to thank?
I just thank all the guys over at Overtake Motorsports. Thank everybody at Swamp Dust Seasoning. Thank Skyler and all of his admins that put on this league every week. And thank you guys for coming on and doing a broadcast now every week.
Thank you. That was Joe Burchett. Started the grid at second, finishing third off of battle with fuel strategy.
All right, give me a second here to get us set up. All right, we're going to get a word in.
So close for him. I got that strategy right to the last lap. Yep. He just had a little bit more in the tank. You might have given him a little bit more of a fight.
Half a gallon.
Yeah, just like...
I was having a hard time getting him down here. Landon Lacey, SR Broadcast Booth, you got a copy?
Yes, sir, I got you.
All right, man. Hey, great run there. Talk us through those last couple laps, man. What was going through your mind?
I mean, I was talking to Joe. He said he had to save a little bit of fuel to make it to the end, where I was able to go as hard as I wanted to because I pitted with about 30. I think I pitted with 33 to go. And every time I'd look at my numbers, I was always a lap to the good. So, plan was there at the end was just to try to catch before the 310 pitted. My plan was to try to catch him as much as I could before he pitted, but sadly it was 6/10 not enough.
Well, I'll tell you what, man, what a race here tonight. Pocono, this new setup with Pocono here definitely hasn't let down. We've seen some great racing from the drop of the green flag all the way down to the checkers. That was an amazing finish right there. You looked like you had a pretty good car out there tonight, too. You kept yourself up in the front for quite a while.
I mean, it was a good car. It was, fighting it all night. Fresh tires that drive great. After about 5 laps, you were tied in. And then after about 10 laps, you were tied in, loose off. So just battling with the car, changing the brake bias to adjust with the track. Just trying to keep up with the track. That was the main thing tonight.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, man. I don't know about you guys, but we definitely saw a good race up here. Hopefully this gives you a little bit of momentum going into next week's race. How you feeling about going? I believe it's Michigan next week.
Yeah. The only thing with this series is with the Cup Series, I'm not really racing for points. I'm not able to make the race every Saturday night. I was actually lucky to make this race. I think I got here like 2 minutes before practice ended. So, yeah. I mean, if I make it next week to Michigan, Michigan is another good track for me. So hopefully, if I do make it, I think I have a good chance there.
Wow, awesome, man. Well, listen, you put on a good show here for us tonight. Congratulations on second place, especially I believe you were one of the drivers that had to run from the back of the field at the start, if I'm right.
Yeah, I did. I had a EOL for not getting my 10 laps in practice.
Yeah, so that's definitely a great job, man, getting up to second place. Great battling out here. Good show. Before we let you get out of here, anybody you want to give a shout out to? Anybody that sponsors you along the way?
Yeah, I want to say thank you to Service Master. They're my main sponsor, but I'm running the team paint this week. Overtake Motorsports, of course, for everything they do for me. Adam Chapman, Joe Burchett, the two co-owners of the team, they do a great job helping us throughout the week with testing and practice and everything we can do. Skylar Allen for putting on such a good league. Hey, you know what? I got to give Skylar props. I think this is the first race I've done in Go Fast that has gone caution-free. So good job, Skylar. I'm finally glad to see that this league is going in a positive direction.
Yeah, that's amazing. 100 laps here with the racing that we saw for it to be caution-free. I mean, that was just great. There was racing, like I said, from the drop of the green flag all the way down to the checkers. So guys did a great job. I really like the way Pocono looks. I think this is definitely going to be one for the books. And if you make it next week, we'll look for you on the track. If not, we'll see you hopefully the following week. I think in 2 weeks. But anyway, man, congratulations on your second place finish and go celebrate.
All right. Thank you very much, sir.
All righty. All right. Let's get our winner.
Doug George.
All right.
Doug George. Broadcasting. Got a copy? All right. You started 7th. You finished 1st. And you drove the wheels off that thing the whole night. Talk us through your night. Did you see yourself taking the win early on, or was it just kind of a later happening that you knew you had a shot?
No, a lot of those guys in practice, there have been down some times that I just couldn't touch their hot lap speed and short run speed. First 15 laps of the race, I pretty much wrote it off. I was probably going to get maybe a top 5. But then the last 15 laps of that run, I started running those guys back down, and I think I was probably the better long run car. But man, Tyler and those guys, they were blazing there for 15 laps or so.
You had coming up to the second set of pits, you had a little bit of contact with Tyler Cox. Talk us through that.
Yeah, that is 100% my fault. I told him that. I just got so caught up trying to get him set up for the exit. I overdrove one there and ran into the back of him. So it certainly wasn't vindictive, or we don't have a rivalry or anything like that, or maybe we do now, but not beforehand. So I just want to say sorry to him.
It definitely looked like it was just a racing incident. You were ready for the pass, and he hit his braking point, and you weren't quite ready for yours. But and then you went for that third pit stop, and then you started running down Joe Burchett and Landon Lacey for the lead, and you went into that 3 wide pass on the last lap going into turn 1. What was on your mind going into there? Did you think your car was going to stick down there?
Yeah, I didn't take right sides only during that pit stop. I considered taking just 2 tires, but I haven't had any practice with that car on 2 tires, so I didn't know how it would respond. So I just went the safe route and took 4, and I knew they were on really, really old tires, and I just didn't want to push the issue too much. But we're getting down to the last lap. Of course, I'm going to put it 3 wide on the front stretch.
And before we let you go, is there anybody you'd like to thank?
Definitely. Sponsors: Midwest Power Source, Run Everything Labs, Flag Nor Fail, the series sponsor, HomeNet Hosting and PC Repair, the boys over at Triple Crown Racing on our race team. Great group of guys, and then of course you guys up in the broadcast booth for taking this over.
All right. Well, you have a good rest of your night and celebrate that win.
Hey, thanks, Curtis.
That was Doug George. Started second, finished first in a fantastic finish that ended on hit strategy in itself, and that was an amazing race.
Yeah, that was definitely something else. I'll tell you what, man, what a finish there. That was excitement right there. We have Skylar Allen Sr. in the booth with us. Skylar, you got a copy?
Yeah, man. Paul, how's it going?
Going pretty good, man. I don't know about you, dude, but what a race, man. What an exciting finish there. 100 laps at Pocono with hard racing from the drop of the green to the checkers and 0 cautions, man. That's amazing.
Yeah, it is, especially with how tricky turn 2 can be here. So, you know, I mean, it's a situation where turn 2 is usually where you see a lot of problems. But we put it together tonight. We did a good job. 100 laps, caution free is fantastic for Pocono. The guys really put a lot of effort into this race, and it looks like it came down to 3 stops was better than 2 stops.
Yeah, we saw Doug George going in for that one stop there at the end, and I wasn't really sure how that was going to be, but man, what a difference on fresh tires, able to run them down and get up to the front and battle it out, man, in those last couple laps. 16 different lead changes here tonight, man. That's crazy, but a great job.
Yeah, that's insane. But thank you, and thank you for coming on board to broadcast with us. And before I do get out of here, I just want to apologize to Jeff Schmidt there late in the race. After coming to the last pit stop, not sure what happened. I just kind of got loose above him, and unfortunately, I ended up destroying his car and ended his night a little early. So I wanted to apologize to him. So, Paul, thank you very much. You guys, everything I could tell from the broadcast looks fantastic tonight, so definitely on point. Thanks for picking us up to finish out this year. I think it's going to be great.
All right, man. Next week, Michigan, we'll look forward to seeing what you guys got there.
Right on, man. Thank you.
All right. All right, that was Skylar Allen, and we just wanted to get a quick word in with him. I'll tell you what, Nathan, Curtis, man, you guys did a great job, man. It was real fun having you guys here in the booth tonight. I think the 3 of us learned each other pretty good. I think we'll be all right.
Yeah, that was. Thank you for having me every week and dealing with my very busy work schedule that I can't always. But it's always great to be in the booth calling races with you.
Oh, yeah, that was a whole fun, especially on this race. It's a beautiful finish.
Yeah, that was definitely one for the books, man. 100 laps, 0 cautions, and a battle at the end. I mean, you can't ask for a better race than that. Much better than watching it under yellow or just watching 1, 2, 3 go by. I mean, these guys fought it out on the very end, and it definitely made it worth it. Next week, these guys do head to Michigan on Saturday night in the HomeNet Hosting Cup Series. Also want to let you know on Friday nights, Go Fast Racing's Grand National Series is brought to you by BOFA Broadcasting, BOFA, BOFA Broadcasting, and they usually go live about 8:45, so don't forget to tune in and check those guys out. You see a lot of the same drivers that are racing here tonight, racing the Grand National Series on Friday night. And then obviously we'll be here on Saturday nights at SR Broadcasting to pick up the Cup Series races. So 2 nights of action. If you can watch either of those nights, either a night you want to tune in for a good race, come on out and tune in. Next week we will bring you the pre-race countdown again. We should have a little bit more information for you. We'll try to get a couple more drivers and get to know some of the drivers here at Go Fast Racing. And we hope you enjoyed it tonight. And you come on back. We're going to go ahead and get the results. And we'll head up on out of here. But first, we just want to congratulate Doug George one more time on his win. He started 7th, takes home the win with 26 laps led. So we'll go ahead and roll over into our results. Curtis, you want to start the first 10?
Yeah, I'll take the top 10. So, starting and finishing first, we've got Doug George. 2nd, Landon Lacey. 3rd, Joe Brichette. 4th, Josh Bonwell. 5th, Dylan Vos. 6th, Michael Trevarthen. 7th, Skylar Allen. 8th, Austin Marion. 9th, Jeff Webker. And 10th, Jeff Schmidt.
How about you, Nathan? You still got him posted?
Yeah. Got 11th, Robert Dudley. 12th, Eric Minch. 13th, late Tyler Cox. 14th, Eric Nick. 15th, Brian Littleton. And 16th, John Morris. And finally, Adam Chapman in 17th.
Awesome job. All right, man. Let's see. Let's go quick summary. 100 laps complete, 0 cautions, 16 lead changes. What an amazing job here at Pocono. All right, we'll be back next week, next Saturday night at about 8:20 Eastern with the SR Broadcasting pre-race countdown. Hopefully you guys can come back and join me there. I appreciate you guys being out in the booth tonight. And until then, everybody stay safe.
Later, guys.
Peace.